If you're looking to learn guitar, check out Dave Isaac's Guitar Studio on Music Row. Whether you are a beginner or hobbyist to professional songwriter or artist, Dave offers a unique and powerful method of instruction that teaches not just the instrument, but the whole musician. Find out more at NashvilleGuitarGuru.com. If you want to feel the wind blowing through your hair and see the great city of Nashville at the same time, check out Nashville Scooter Tours. Trekking through the downtown streets to Music Row with Nashville Scooter Tours is safe, eco-friendly, and a whole lot of fun. They use Xenon electric scooters that go 55 miles on a single charge. Find out more by calling 615-290-5563 or book your reservation today at NashvilleScooterTours.com.
Hi guys, welcome to Emerging Artists. We're here with singer-songwriter Tim Gore and we'll be right back.
Jeff Meeks and Chris Austin invite you to watch your favorite sports event at the Batter's Box at 43 Hermitage Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. The Batter's Box offers shuttle service to all Titans home games. It's a great place for friends to gather for the game and after the game. So check out the Batter's Box Bar and Grill, and thanks again for sponsoring the show. From the family grocery hauler to fire-breathing racing engines, the one name you need to know is USA Motor and Machine, located at 51 Cleveland Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-726-3725 or at usamotorandmachine.com.
Welcome back to Emerging Artists, guys. I'm Kane Harrison, and we're lucky enough today to be joined by a great singer-songwriter, Tim Gore. Welcome, mate.
How you doing, man?
Very, very well. Thanks for dropping by.
Thanks for having me out here.
Absolutely. Mate, you've had an interesting road to Nashville, and it's been a while to get here. But reading you were born in Dallas, Texas, grew up in the Appalachians in Kentucky, and now in Tennessee. The most important question, what football side do you follow?
Kentucky football. I mean, I know that we're not that good, but but it's I don't know. I graduated from Kentucky in 2007, and I'm a huge Wildcats fan, so I follow pretty much, stay true to them.
I'm sure there's lots of fans out there that are glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Now that triangle musically is amazing. I mean, you have that sloppy Texas sound that influences so many people. Kentucky bluegrass, and especially the Appalachians. Back to the moonshining days and all that sort of stuff, and then the Nashville country and now slick country pop.
Yeah.
How do you fit into that, and where do you draw your influences from those 3 points?
I would say I was born in Dallas, and then we left when I was a real young kid. We moved to Berea, Kentucky, and I grew up. My mom sang and played, and she always played a lot of old Patsy Cline and Retta Lynn music to me and stuff. So I got the country influence at a young age, the classic country, and then I started getting into the singer-songwriting thing when I was in high school and started dating girls and stuff like that. And they was like, oh, they see guitar. I was like, oh, you playing singing? I was like, yeah, and I didn't know what that did for my relationships in high school, but it really helps out.
Absolutely.
And but anyway, no, I love the bluegrass in Kentucky. It was my first time I ever stood on stage. Was at an FOP lodge in Williamsburg, Kentucky. And my Uncle Nolan got me up to sing, and it was a bluegrass night. I got up and sang Will the Circle Being Broken. And then just through college, started getting into a lot of the singing. I played sports all the way through high school. Once I got into college, I really focused in on my musical ability and really found my love and passion with it, and really started listening to a lot of modern country and getting into that and trying to develop my sound around that.
So now in your modern day songwriting, looking back on those times, I mean, it must have been a fantastic part of the world to grow up in. I mean, I grew up in regional Australia. It was the same rivers and jumping out of trees and all that sort of stuff. I mean, tell me a little bit about that, like just growing up in that sort of environment. Yeah,
it was. I grew up on Laurel River Lake in eastern Kentucky, skiing, jumping off rocks, and there was these 3 rocks. They called them the Three Sisters. My mom would always get really mad if she knew I was going out to them to jump off of them. But I mean, these things were hundreds of feet high, and we'd jump off of them like a bunch of idiots, and swing from ropes and ski and stuff like that. And fish and hunt. I mean, it was a great childhood. I couldn't have asked for any better of a childhood than that.
So with all that musical influence, your mum obviously a massive influence on you. Kentucky, a beautiful place. Why Nashville?
Well, I had a lot of people back in Lexington, Kentucky, where I went to school. I told you, University of Kentucky. They told me, they was like, wanting to be a singer-songwriter and you're out of the circle, you need to get in the circle. So I decided to make the move down here in '08, and it's been a roller coaster ride, a lot of ups and downs. But I've pretty much figured out in my mind that you don't need nowadays the way social media has helped out, and that you don't need a record label to pretty much choose if you're going to have a career in music or not. So now I play 300 plus shows a year here in Nashville. I love singing. I try to write every day, and I decided to move down here. This is where it's at. I mean, this is where all the creative juices are flowing.
Someone said to me the other day, which I thought was fantastic, take care of the music and the music will take care of the business. And I think that now in social media, it's with independent singer-songwriters or recording artists, it's about, this time you can actually do that. In days gone by, I don't think that was possible, but the way we share and listen to music and all that sort of stuff. How do you think that that's influenced your popularity?
Well, I've got a really good Twitter following. I've got really good YouTube base and a lot of Facebook friends and fans. It's really helped me get my music out there. And I think we're going to talk about my new single here in a little bit. But it once we released it, that we started throwing it out there, and we told people to share it, and we was able to see how many people were actually viewing it through the shares. Yeah. So it's the 7 degrees separation that you get to everybody. It's a lot easier to get to everybody now.
And I guess one of the when I jumped on YouTube and checked out some of your stuff, I saw a Billy Currington cover, Like My Dog, which is you doing the cover on the couch, I guess, just at home with your dog sitting next to you. And it's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to jump on and check it out. It is so funny. The dog comes up and licks the camera and just makes a complete nuisance. But it just took off, like 35,000 views or something on YouTube. You would never have dreamed it, I think.
Well, I tell everybody that me and my girlfriend, we got a Great Dane, and he's the biggest dog in the world. I mean, the dog is like less than 2 years old, and he's like 180 pounds. I mean, he's a machine. But he's so funny because he's so nice. He's a big, sweet puppy. But I always tell everybody he's a rock star. Like if I know how like Shaquille O'Neal feels when he's walking out in town, because when I've got Jack, my dog, everybody's just pointing and like staring and wanting to get a picture with him. So he's that video, he really helped out my views, I think, a lot on that. I don't think it was my singing, I think it was him.
You sure did. And just before we get to the new clip, there is a new clip also up on YouTube that is fantastic. We'll talk about in a second. But you touched on the fact that it was a rocky road to get to where you are, and there was a lot of up and downs. I mean, you've opened for people like George Strait, Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, Hank Williams Jr., Sugarland. I mean, that was before you come to Nashville. So I would imagine you would be pretty happy with yourself as you were coming into Nashville. And then my understanding is that you came to Nashville and some of the doors that you thought may have been open weren't. How did that make you feel? How did you pick yourself up?
I got very lucky in Lexington, Kentucky. I landed a house gig at this real famous bar and Honky Tonk. It was Austin City Saloon. And I was too young for the gig when I got it. I was too green. I probably shouldn't have got it looking back. But I was given an opportunity from the manager there to get a band together, and they really, really threw me out to the wolves. And that's the only way you learn, is just to put somebody on stage, and because a lot of times you see a lot of people looking at you and being quiet listening. It's really hard to do. And but I was able to do these pre-party shows for these for George Strait and all them people. And my first was Brad Paisley, and I would get to play in front of their crowds on this pre-party stage, and it was pretty awesome seeing all the people and getting to do that, and it really helped me out getting down here. But yeah, it was a big fish in a little pond up there, and then you move down here and you're a big fish with a lot of big fish in a bigger pond. So it's you gotta love it. You gotta love it to do it, because if you don't love the music, it's very hard mentally.
And that's the other thing I wanted to touch on. It happens with a lot of people. And I noticed that influentially, you've been influenced a lot, not only by your mum and other people, but by athletes, specifically Arnold Schwarzenegger and that sort of stuff. Obviously, you look after yourself, and they say, healthy body, healthy mind, vice versa. So has that been a way for you to get that dedication, that drive, that determination? I mean, I know myself, you get in, whether you run or you do martial arts or whatever it is, you learn so much from that that you can translate into life. Do you think that has been something that's enabled you to, when the door's shut, just take a deep breath and go and try and open another one?
Well, with bodybuilding, working out with weights, I love that every bit as much as I love playing music. So those are like my two loves in life. So I've been able to try to combine the two, is what I try to do. And it's a release mentally. Like I can be in the worst mood during the day, and then I can go and I can, do 30 minutes of cardio, an hour of weight training, and I am in a total different mood, total different mindset. And I've learned that about myself, and I think that's an important key, in music as far as life, is that to learn aspects of your personality to fix them, because I know I'm a very moody person, so I know how to make myself get in a good mood.
Sure.
And so that really helps out a lot of times. Like if I'm with friends or girlfriends or parents or something, my mom used to say all the time I would be in a bad mood. She'd go run 2 miles, and I get back, I'd be covered in sweat, and I feel so much better, But that's me. I know that about myself. But yeah, I think it translates the discipline factor, and you definitely, if you want to be a rock star, you got to look like one, and you can't get there eating fast food and junk food all the time.
So we'll go on to the new music, which is fantastic. You have released an album late last year. The album was released.
Yeah.
Sorry. Also, the clip that I was talking about before, which I absolutely love, Kentucky Blues. I want to really touch on your songwriting, because I feel like when I listen to your music, I can hear all those really old influences, but you put a modern twist on it with the way that your lyrics come out. One of the lyrics is from Kentucky Blues: "This ain't my American dream, staying doped up on amphetamines." And, it's about the hardships that were going on in Kentucky and coal mining and all that sort of stuff. Speaking earlier about knowing yourself and your vulnerabilities, do you think that enables the songwriting characteristics to come out? You're not scared to show those other sides of what you've got to say.
Well, I wrote that song with a fellow co-writer, Doug Littlejohn, and he's from Kentucky too. And when he brought that song to me and the idea and a lot of the lyrics and stuff, and we kind of talked about it, and he was like, "Are you comfortable singing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is raw, this is real, this is John Prine, Chris Knight, a lot of the songwriters that I really love to follow and look at." And but I mean, it's truth. I mean, a lot of people, back where we're from, they go into coal mining, and meth is a big drug. I think, the town I come from is one of the largest producers of it. I mean, it's very scary, stuff. And so I had no problem, singing. I don't know, if that's going to fly with a radio, but, it will back home. But I mean, as far as, national, but it's definitely, it's real. And I wanted to release this song as my first song because I wanted to be respected as not only as a singer but a songwriter, that this guy, he's not going to the girls and the trucks and the tailgates and the beer on a hot day, and he's going with something real for his first single. So that's really why I kind of went this way.
It's fantastic, and as I mentioned before, it's on YouTube, and you can get to Tim's site, obviously www. and all that sort of way, which we'll talk about again in a minute. Is there a new single?
Well, we're doing the Kentucky Blues right now. We just released it. We just launched the video less than a week ago, and we've already busted 1,000 views on YouTube. So
fantastic.
It's went pretty viral pretty quick, and we haven't really hit radio or TV yet with it. We're just kind of starting that stuff now. And
you were mentioning you had a couple of exciting things coming up that people will be able to see you on. Spill the beans.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be on WKYT in Lexington, Kentucky, their news station. March 19th is when we're doing the interview, and we're going to do some radio touring March 18th, and just going from there.
Yeah.
And I've also got some new songs that I'm getting ready to go in the studio and cut, so we're already looking at the next video. And
so it's exciting times. It seems like all those hardships and that whole battle and to get to where you are, and things are starting to pay off. Fantastic, mate. Well, just look at the guys again and tell us where we can find all your social media stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Just check out my website, www.timgore.com, and it's my YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Everything's linked up there, so you can check it out there.
Awesome. And will you come and play us a live song?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's Tim Gore, and he's going to stick around and play a live song, and we'll see you soon.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.